When I usually ride, I take a lot of breaks in between, especially if it's some kind of endurance type riding, hence the name Enduro riding. How long can you go for? How long can you stand up and just go on without taking a breath?
Alright, here we go. It's round 2. I think I'm a bit on this one. This one's more slower, technical type of riding.
And that is something I definitely want to work on, because on this day, we ended up doing around 4 different kind of single tracks. They're like little different segments. So they're separated by, you do single track for maybe about a mile, and then you come across another 50-inch trail, take a little break, and then you keep on going.
Wow, I haven't been on this single track quite some time. It's pretty loose right now. Pretty crazy because we had a pretty massive snowstorm. And just nothing out here. This place is only like 40 minutes away.
But for the most part, it was all mostly non-stop riding. Not to mention, I was with very, very good riders, skill-wise and of course endurance-wise.
Man, I haven't been on this single track in quite some time. Woo! Woo! So many rocks, man.
The last section of this single track proved to be a little bit too much for me, skill-wise and of course endurance-wise. So I decided to turn around, mostly due to my endurance levels being incredibly down.
Christ, that big boulder's gonna be a pain right there. Yep.
Yeah. Is it movable?
Yeah, oh yeah. No, leave it. Leave it. Yeah, leave it.
Don't ruin the trail. I'm kind of wiped for this. I don't think my skill level.
Towards the end of the ride, just to give you an idea, and heading back towards the car, I literally had to stop every 10 to 30 seconds just to regain some kind of energy to keep pushing forward.
Oh fuck, it's like every second. Sorry dude if I keep stopping. I'm just wiped.
But nonetheless, this was an awesome day. Great single track, riding with great people, and of course riding with very good riders. That kind of gives me a taste on what it's like to be actually fit for this sport. This day definitely taught me to push myself a lot harder, skill-wise and endurance-wise.
I'm already getting arm pump.
So this single track right here is the first time I've ever been to it. So I was not sure what to expect exactly, but this single track right here was one of the ones that actually started to drain me pretty quickly. Because the other single tracks, I've been on it a few times, so I know more or less what to expect.
Whew. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Woo! That was kind of steep.
Except this single track was a lot harder than the other ones, for me especially. So I ended up using a ton of energy, and of course being a bit nervous about the kind of trail it was. Now don't get me wrong, I love these hard enduro trails, but I usually start getting a bit nervous until my skill level catches up.
This is so off camera.
But believe me, the camera definitely does not do justice on the kind of trail this was right here. It was steep, loose, rocky, off camber, and this was just entirely new for me.
We're going to another single track. I'm not sure which single track this is, but oh, we've been on this one. Yeah, I remember this one. This one's like really tight. It's a really tight single track. Woo!
Now this single track was out in Canyon City, and most of the single track out here is fairly rocky and pretty exhausting, especially when you're like me, out of shape. But it definitely gives you some kind of good practice for the rocks.
That one's a drop.
And this is another thing I love about Colorado. We just had a snowstorm yesterday, and although the mountains are completely covered in snow, just 40 minutes to maybe even an hour down to Canyon City, you have great single track all ready for you, completely dry.
This is crazy, man.
So this single track was actually a pretty steep drop with a tree right in front of you. So not much room to really turn or anything. So essentially you have to pivot turn your wheel onto this rock, which of course is slick. And my rear wheel slides right off. And this is where a front range dad came to the rescue because essentially I was stuck. Great trail, by the way, super fun and a bit of a challenge, but nothing too crazy like the earlier single tracks. Anyhow, thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell button, and I'll catch you guys on my next video.
Whew. I'm just resting.